This is KGW News at 5.
We begin tonight with new weather update for the Rose City. Another winter weather advisory has been issued for Portland and parts of the metro area. We are expected to see temperatures just above freezing overnight and into your morning commute. Welcome to KGW News at 5. I'm Joe Ranieri. Again, we'll be seeing a few showers overnight, and there is a slight chance we'll see some snow in the higher elevations, potentially mixing down all the way to the valley floor. And looking into the later part of this week, there is more snow in the forecast. Our Daisy Caballero is in the Weather Center tracking the latest conditions.
Yeah, Joe, thank you so much. Yeah, so this is that next weather maker that is going to be bringing those conditions that you are talking about. And throughout the entire day, we have seen a wintry mixture. Some areas are actually still seeing some snow and obviously some rain as well, including here in the downtown Portland area. I just peeked outside and it is raining just a little bit. But somewhere else that is definitely slowing is over near Timberline, 17 degrees. They have seen right around 19 inches of fresh new snowpack since 5 o'clock this morning, and obviously more is on the way. But looking at through our Cascade Pass cameras, just check out these conditions. People are still driving. This is Government Camp, 24 degrees right now. So if you're planning to travel, please be very mindful and obviously carry those chains in case you do need them. This is Willamette Pass, clocking in at 20 degrees at this very moment. Many of us are already into those 30s, including Hillsborough, Forest Grove, also Timber Junction, but still seeing some 40s along the coastline, 39 degrees in Pendleton and 33 degrees in John Day. All right, now this is the forecast for the next 3 days. Again, wintry mix tonight into tomorrow, all the way into Tuesday. We're not expecting to see any relief from the rain or the snow all the way until Wednesday, but we'll talk more about that coming up in my full forecast.
All right, Daisy, I know a lot of people are paying attention to the next couple of days. Well, one man is dead and another injured after a shooting in Northeast Portland early this morning. It happened in a residential area known as the Hazelwood neighborhood, just the latest spot to be impacted by Portland's ongoing gun violence. Blair Best reports.
Couples on a Sunday morning stroll through what seems to be a quiet residential neighborhood in Northeast Portland.
Well, this is a pretty good area.
Yet around 3:30 Sunday morning, it was anything but good when a shooting left one person dead and another critically injured.
It's a scary feeling.
Randallyn DeWitt woke up to gunshots, followed by police lights flashing through her bedroom window.
Loud pops, consecutive, pretty evenly spaced out.
A sound she says isn't unusual for the area, yet still unsettling.
Way too close, just way too close.
My wife and I woke up to what sounded like medium to loud pops, maybe 4 to 5, and then some screaming that was a little delayed.
We watched as Portland police went door to door looking for evidence and video of the crime. They say no arrests have been made yet and at this time aren't searching for a suspect. They say the man who was critically injured was taken to the hospital. The other man's body, Randallyn saw lying in front of her neighbor's house.
It was in the street. But again, it's like, that's crazy.
So far this year, there have been 8 homicides in Portland. If this one here in the Hazelwood neighborhood is determined to be a homicide, it would be the 9th. Now, according to a KGW analysis, that's less than the number of homicides Portland saw this time last year.
It's concerning. It's alarming.
Some neighbors say it's up to the community to change this violent trend.
To try to solve the issue together, because that's really the only way anything will move forward.
While others look for a more immediate solution.
It's getting crazier and crazier. We all kind of want to move. Our neighbors have said they wanted to move. People that have been here for 30 plus years want to move. It just keeps getting worse.
In Northeast Portland, Blair Best, KGW News.
4 convenience stores in Clark County in Vancouver were robbed early this morning. Now, Vancouver police are looking for the suspects. Here are some shots from the stores with several 7-Eleven and Chevron locations that were targeted earlier today. In all incidents, money from cash registers were taken, and in an incident, money was taken from a safe. Now, the crimes happened between 6:30 and 7:30 this morning, just an hour span. Vancouver PD says there are either 2 or 3 suspects who are likely armed and say they drove a stolen Kia Optima with a Washington license plate when conducting these crimes. Again, authorities are looking for the suspects tonight. If you see them, call authorities and do not approach them. Now for an update to a story we first brought you earlier last week. A Clark County Sheriff's deputy badly hurt when a tree came crashing down on his squad car has lost his leg. Considering the circumstances, Deputy Kennison is doing well. His colleagues say he's in good spirits, surrounded by family and friends. But make no mistake about it, the deputy has a long road ahead of him, all because of what happened late Wednesday morning near Washougal River Road and Salmon Falls Road in Skamania County. Deputy Kennison was driving home from SWAT training when a huge tree limb snapped under the weight of the snow and came crashing down on the deputy's vehicle, sending him off the road and into another tree. Due to weather conditions, medics couldn't get to the scene in a timely manner. Fortunately, there were other deputies and police officers were also driving home about the time of the accident, and they, along with public works crew in the area, helped Deputy Kennison. He was eventually rushed to Peace Health Southwest Medical Center, where he went into emergency surgery. The deputy was then transferred to Legacy Emmanuel in Portland. Doctors there made the tough call to amputate the deputy's left leg just above the knee. Here's Chief Enforcement Deputy Brian Kessel.
Yeah, it's a long process. I think there's a lot of emotions that are going there. There's the hope and the determination. He wants to get back. He wants to get back and doing the things that he was doing, the things he was training to do when this accident happened. And so he's got a lot of drive, but with that comes, I'm sure, other emotions too, and fear and pain and all those things. But the strength that he has, I think that's what's pushing him through, and it's going to bring him back here with us.
Deputy Kennison has been with the Clark County Sheriff's Office for 14 years. Over that time, he's worked with the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force, Tactical Detective Unit, and most recently, the Southwest Washington Regional SWAT Team. The deputy will now be stepping away from all of that for what's expected to be a lengthy recovery that is sure to be costly as well. Now, the Clark County Deputy Sheriff's Guild is fundraising for the deputy and his family. That includes his wife and 3 kids. If you'd like to donate to the fundraiser, you'll find a link to it on our website at kgw.com. Well, let's take a look at your international headlines tonight. At least 60 migrants, including children, died when their wooden boat sank off the coast of southern Italy earlier this morning. The death toll is expected to rise. Dozens of people are still missing tonight. Authorities say the overloaded boat had some 170 people on board when it left Turkey. The Italian Coast Guard says at least 80 people survived. Most of the migrants were from Afghanistan, Pakistan, or Somalia. A 12-year-old child was shot and killed in West Allis, Wisconsin Saturday night. Now, the shooting happened just after 9 p.m. at a party being held at a tavern. Local law enforcement says the 12-year-old boy died at the scene and another underage victim was also shot. The other victim, whose age is still unknown, was taken to the hospital. At this point, we are not sure how the second victim is doing tonight. An investigation is ongoing and no arrests have been made. The United States hasn't had a balanced budget, get this, since the 90s. That means for at least 2 decades, we've been running on a deficit and racking up a lot of debt. Casey Decker with our Verify team explains the difference between the two.
Time is running out to raise the federal debt ceiling and prevent the U.S. from defaulting on its financial obligations. That's pushed debates about how to handle the debt and the deficit to center stage. And we've noticed confusion about the difference between the debt and deficit. Are they just 2 different words for the same thing? Let's verify with the help of these sources. The answer is straightforward. No, the debt and the deficit are not the same thing. Here's the difference. The deficit is simply a matter of the federal budget. If the government spends more than it takes in, that's a deficit.
In 2022, the national deficit was $1.3 trillion.
But when the country runs a deficit, we still need to pay our bills. So where does the money to do that come from once we're all out of revenue? It comes from borrowing. And when the government borrows money, that creates debt. If every year we keep running a deficit, that debt continues to grow. So whereas the deficit is a fairly simple annual calculation, the debt is a more long-term cumulative one. The current national debt is $31.5 trillion. With your Fast Fact, I'm Casey Decker.